G'day, how you going? So we're going to get into the tank soon, but before we do I just want to go to the computer and show you the good person responsible for the design of the bottom chassis. Let's go. So here we are on Lyn Lim's Thingiverse page, and as you can see from down the bottom of the screen there is the design of the chassis and track parts of the Tracked Crawler. Let's hop onto the page for the design and have a closer look. And here we are, and as you can see he's done it in a stylish black PLA, I presume. And here's the rest of the design. There aren't too many parts in this design, and it will be pretty self-apparent how it goes together when you print it off. He's been somewhat active, but I haven't seen any updates in this design since it was put up. But the instructions are pretty good. It tells you everything you need to put it together. I actually found it was 32 tracks, not 33, but hey, who doesn't mind some spares? Thank Lyn Lim, and you know, hop on there, check it out. If you want to support him, then do so. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. Let's get back to the table. Right, so now we all know where to get the design and the instructions and whatnot. Let's go through what I've done to on top of that. As you can see here, we've got two. It's just a PLA sort of over, you know, top frame box, two-piece, comes together, and panels that come down on top with other panels, patches that go on those, and that goes on the front, of course, with the wiring out of the way. I've got everything pulled out at the moment because I unfortunately have had some issue. So these are the HK15328D, and if you look on the Hobby King website you won't find them under that code. You'll have to Google it, then use the little image link on the side of the page to get to them, because they've got some different name on their website for some reason. Anyhow, it started to rotate continuously, so my first thought was that the potentiometer, and there she is, you know, had gotten some water in it, because it's really the only way of ingress. This is a nicely rubber sealed bottom casing, and you can see the cat is going crazy over there. If you can see here, this has got some waterproofing on it, but it's pretty thin. Anyhow, replace the potentiometer, no luck. It does appear that something has gone wrong with one of the little microcontrollers, because it won't do anything. It's you can make slight differences with the potentiometer, but it slows down and then trips up and goes super fast again. It never comes to a stop or reverses. So it's functionally just dead. So yeah, that's that. I'm gonna have to replace this. This is a real shame. But I've got it open here, and I know I waffled on for a bit there, and I apologise about that, and I'll probably have cut some of that out. I've got it open here, and I just wanted to run through it. Starting from the back, we have the power regulators for the driving servos. They're 3 amp outputs at 5 volt, and then we have 1.5 amp outputs or 2 amp outputs at 5 volt for the receiver that's here. This is a testing receiver, and the VTX is there, and then that powers the Roncam micro Swift at the front. And then I've got power running up there to tell me my voltage, and it was running still will be running again, the HK15328D servos from Hobby King. They're a good little cheap servo. I will be bulking up their waterproofing though. I mean, yeah, the maximum they ever got submerged was a couple of inches, if that. And then, yeah, the aerial comes through here. I've been thinking about putting some cooling on it and various accessories. It could even probably run a blade on a front loader style setup. What else is there to go over? While I've got you here, I'm going to what else I did as well to the bottom. So I've got two what are they, like 2.5mm thick lead sheets, and then a 250 gram steel weight, and they plug that bottom hole, and then this section of scrap ABS was just heated up and conformed and glued into plug the bottom hole there. Then at the front I've got two rolled up like the equivalent to one more of these sheets, rolled up and cut into two sections and stuck in the nose cavity that's left between the two, that's left at the front there. The suspension is beefed up on the suggested specs you'll find on Thingiverse there, and I've got larger suspension here and a much more firm tightening arrangement. I used what screws I had around, but basically the same lock nuts, 4mm bolts. That's a little loose. I did have to swap these out and put washers in there, and then yeah, it's a cool little first project for a tank, you know. The tracks. Here's the track, and they are, if I can bring it up here, they are PLA segments and ABS pins, and so the pins are simply pushed through, trimmed, and used with a just, you know, a plastic and I used this poor soldering tip, sorry, to heat them and push them down. So the tread is this rubber mat material, just cut up into segments and glued on with hot glue, and they fall off a lot. I wouldn't mind looking at designing a printed tread piece that can be screwed on there. That would be pretty nice. There seems to be enough room in these to hold a screw in there. So that's that, and I guess we should now get back to how the video started and have a look at this thing in action. And there she is. There's more mud crawling to come, and there's a testing video for the new flap style tracks that I've designed for her. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to like. It really helps YouTube know what's what. Have a great day out there and stay well.